Hi. We are here live playing Skyfront, and we are joined by the cool guys at IPG Esports in the UK. So, Anthony, Gabor, say hi.
Hello.
Yay! So, at the moment, what we've got going here is we've set up a single deathmatch in Skyfront. We are just waiting for one of our guys to join, and then we can start a game and see how our players do. So, if you happen to watch our stream last week, we mainly played team deathmatch, but this week we were thinking let's start with single deathmatch because it's a little bit more fun for everybody and not so competitive maybe. Does that sound okay with you guys?
Okay.
Cool. So we've got like 6 people here now joined. So Anthony Gabor, so you're not playing. So you're gonna join me in the commentary section, yeah?
We're coordinating.
We're coordinating. All right, cool. Okay, so let's start this match off and see how it goes. So you guys also took part in the arcade tournament organized a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it was pretty incredible actually. It's great.
Are any of the same guys who were on your team then also playing today?
So Manu, who's one of our long-time standing staff, is an absolute professional.
Nice.
So when we were actually playing in the tournament, he basically held up on our side for sure.
Which set's he playing on now? Is he 1, 2, 3? Which one?
He is on 1.
On 1. Okay, so player 1 is
Yeah.
who we should be looking out for. He's like changing loadouts or something right now, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
Stuck
for
in a
him,
corner.
it's like choosing something to wear. I mean, it could take some time.
Player 2 is also struggling.
These are obviously professional esports gamers. It takes time to master perfection.
Oh, obviously. Oh no, Frostafix just murdered someone. So how far did you get in the Val tournament?
We actually got quite far. I think
Quite far. It sounds like you're surprised.
Well, I think we made it to the semi-finals purely by the fact that like a few of the people dropped out, like a few of the teams dropped out, so we got pushed through somehow. So much to my surprise, we made it through quite far.
Luck was on your side.
Yeah, it was really great.
No, but like as far as I was keeping track with how the matches went, like you were doing really well though.
Yeah, I still have no idea how.
So I take it you don't play Skyfront like on a daily basis.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for myself, I would probably get the opportunity to play once a month.
Aww.
Which is really sad.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm a little bit disappointed,
Yeah. I mean, but that applies to pretty much all VR at the moment. So
yeah, I can imagine,
we're quite busy. So the staff are consistently playing.
Oh yeah, so I didn't mention when we just started the stream. So you guys talking to me, so you are running the arcade. So yeah, I'm probably busy with everything else.
Yeah, so we're busy trying to expand.
Hey, I really hope you do really well with the expanding because I've been to your place a couple times and I absolutely love the way you've got your stuff set up there.
Yeah, I think you've been to 3 now.
Yeah, all except 1. Yeah.
Yeah, all except the active one. Yeah.
Cool. But like so IPG is one of our friend arcades, and they have this really cool setup. So when normally in a VR arcade, the kind of standard setup is that you have these individual booths, and that's about it. You might organize some events and stuff there. But with IPG, the cool thing is that their setups are in pubs, so it's like a really different setting and really kind of free, and then you get to chill, and I love that.
Mm.
So what's at the moment? Who is our oh, Andre and Frost? Come on, guys! You need to step up on IPG side. At the moment, Frost is like murdering you, and Andre is also doing a pretty damn good job.
We're encouraging our guys to. Looks like they need a bit of warming up.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Normally we would do like a little bit of warm up before a stream, but just with setup and everything, so we didn't have time for that.
I mean, this is quite early for us, like in terms of our arcades being open. So they haven't had any beer yet. So this is crucial.
It's like lubrication, you know.
Beer is crucial to the mind.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's two and a half beers is the optimal.
For flying around in VR.
Yeah.
For us, it's like the end of the workday, so we finished work about like 2 hours ago.
You should be here.
Yeah.
So who's on your side then? Who's from your team?
We have our VFX guy Robert. His name on the board is Refox. We have Heikki, who's under Frost FX. Heikki is like our he's in charge of the whole artistic side of Skyfront. And then our third player today is Andre. Andre is actually quite a new addition to our team. He joined the team as also an artist, but now we were really happy to find out that he's also really good at marketing. So now we're making use of him as a marketing guy as well.
Excellent.
Yeah. But like, so you guys have been doing a ton of stuff on your side for like VR esports in general, and you recently also changed your name, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, it's sorry, there's all kinds of noise happening here.
Oh yeah, no, I can hear the pub noise.
Big screens are falling down behind us. So yeah, I mean, we've been trying to kind of push away at doing esports for a while now in pubs.
Yeah, I think you started like over a year ago, or about a year ago, or something, right?
I mean, the interpub side of things is a fairly new.
But like, I mean, your like entry into VR esports, or kind of trying out your hand at the esports.
Yeah, I mean, like we started looking at it at the start of this year.
Okay, so about a year.
So it's yeah. I mean, it's quite difficult when you're trying to operate in. Well, just because in terms of like the location is not always it's not always easy to kind of run it. It's just so much noise and so much going on at the same time.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
And trying to run pub versus pub separated geographically is always quite difficult as well.
Oh yeah, like when was the first one you did? In spring this year or something? Was it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we basically had first, and that, I mean, it was incredible. It was basically 4v4. So we had Elephant and Castle beside there, and then that was playing against the Bright side that you went to. And it was just incredible because people were playing for the dominant position to like win, and then at the end of it, like the bars were putting up prizes of like bar tabs and things like that. So it was pretty cool. And I think the guys that came out at the end who were Team Tequila, who also Team Tequila, who also played recently with us. That was the team that I kind of filled in with.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. So they came back. They came back to play. But I think like just in terms of it's a bit more kind of I guess like open-minded. It's a bit more sort of fun. It's not as like serious as like
super competitive.
Like esports can be like really competitive. So it's kind of different in that respect. When you've got the pubs playing against each other, it's pretty funny.
Oh, I can imagine. Like, yeah, you have like a couple of points down, and everybody gets really happy and jolly.
Yeah, and then right at the end, like when team came, they won when they had the tournament against London. The crowd kind of made them impromptu tunnel with their hands and arms all the way from the VR to the bar. So it was incredible.
Aww, and you had like huge screens up as well, like everybody could watch everybody who's in the pubs, right?
So the spectatorship element for VR is just so crucial, especially if it's in pubs.
Yeah, like,
I mean, it really is.
That's something I've been thinking about as well. Like, well, our experience with VR esports has been like, first off, like you say, it's a bit more laid back. Like, I'm sure there are people who already take it very seriously, like, you know, general esports, and it has a viewership. But like a lot of the people, because VR community is so small, so everybody's kind of really chill about it, kind of like. Not super tooth and nail about it. I really love that about the community at the moment.
Yeah. I think to understand that to get VR into the mainstream, it has to be viewed by people. Without inviting people in to see actually what's happening. Like if you're just stuck in an arcade that's kind of underground or like that. It doesn't get that kind of prowess that it needs to grow.
Was that your star player playing as player 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came second. Is everybody? Yes. Is everybody like still good to go to continuing with the same map for another game on your side?
Yep. Same map.
Yeah.
I think they're just getting ready.
Okay. I'll just give it a couple of seconds and then we'll start the second match. We'll probably switch maps after the second game though. Is that alright with you guys? To check something else out? Is it alright if I press start?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Can't be too far.
Okay, so 7 seconds, and then we can go for a second round in our Greece inspired map. Oh, right.
Almost there. So I think you also was just asking a question, just what you think is holding VR esports back.
Yes, about the spectator thing, I was just gonna continue thinking about that. Spectator-wise, I've been chatting with a couple of people, and one of the things that they say is missing from VR esports is that a lot of games aren't easy to spectate, which totally makes sense. And then another thing that I don't totally agree with is that people look really silly when they're flailing their arms around in VR. But I'm like, I mean, in standard esports, you're watching people sit at a desk, in essence, right? So how much worse is flailing your arms around, really?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of interesting. In respect of like the spectator side of things, if you look at like traditional kind of 2D esports, you've got like the picture in picture, you've got the person playing game, and then you've got the cutaway of like the actual player.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot in terms of like with the VR side of things, mostly it's just like a shot of like what the actual game is. yourself, so there's no connection to the actual player a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So you can't see what's happening on their face. You can't see what they're actually doing.
Yeah, but that kind of comes down to what one of the problems of getting VR to the masses is anyway. So it's like it's really hard to convey the VR experience on a 2D screen in essence.
Yeah. And I think it's just also just the density of headsets that are out in the wild at the moment. It just hasn't seeded enough.
Yeah.
So I guess that's one of the differences with us, that we're in pubs and it's full of people, and people. It's not like say for example, if you're in a mall or you're in kind of like a high street or something like that. People come to the pub to have fun.
Exactly.
Like, that they come in the masses. Whereas I think it's a lot harder to maybe attract people from the sidewalk, or like attract them
plus it's like
big center.
Yeah, plus it's like also if you are a VR arcade kind of as is, also people need to come there very intentionally. So it's like this one thing you're coming there for. But with your setup, I think that's one of the perks that you have. It's like you come there in general to have fun, and then you offer them a ton of options for fun. So
yeah. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, people are coming to stations here to socialize, and that's the biggest thing. Is like people that generally go to like VR arcades, they don't necessarily go there to socialize. A specific experience. VR, like they have to want it. So that's probably a big thing for us.
Yep. Like one of the other things that I've heard some people say is like, because like this wave of VR, so there were a lot of people, coming in like late 2015, 2016, kind of making content that was just, it kind of sold for its novelty value. But now, content-wise as well, the people who go to arcades, they're looking for a little bit more. They're looking for something that keeps them coming back. And the people who are just there for the novelty value are kind of running out to a degree.
Yeah. I think we find that especially with social is probably the most key factor at the moment. Is being able to go there and actually, explicitly enjoy something with your friends.
Yep.
So going once you've tried like an experience that's on rails or something like that as a single player, a lot of the time you don't go back.
Yep. Plus, like with those experiences, I have a couple of like friends in the Estonian gaming community here whose first experience with VR were specifically those like roller coasters and all those like really short experiences, and their intention kind of was to show you how VR can disorient you to a degree, right? Because it wants you to feel like it's real and feel sick a little bit, and then those same people, they don't want to come into VR now because they think all VR makes you feel sick. And that's really sad.
I think with the advent of they released, Samsung Gear, that was probably one of the most fatal things to introduce into the VR market. It was just so terrible.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't depict good VR, So that's probably one of the things that causes issues.
Yeah. And like,
go
ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just like reading some of your questions.
No, I was just thinking that when we've had a couple of chances to take Skyfront to expos. So earlier this year we were at Gamescom in Germany, and we were at EGX in Birmingham. And it was so cool how a lot of people, because there's still a ton of people who've never tried VR, and they kind of know that it's something that might make you feel sick and you're not going to like it. And then they kind of gather up the courage to come and try your game. And when they do, you kind of like, they take off the headset and you see how their eyes are like, wow. And you know that, that guy or girl has been convinced, and they kind of see that there's a ton of options in VR, things that you can experience that are cool, that don't make you sick.
the 100% convert.
Yeah, exactly. those are the
that's
coolest experiences always.
Yeah, I mean we're coming up 50,000 customers now.
50,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
and none of them have been sick.
Yeah, like I mean,
So it depends on the content, and so it's important to like kind of like, especially for you guys, it's like hats off, because in a zero G kind of environment, there are still a lot of games that make people sick in terms of like the motion and everything. So it's real good. So hats off to you guys for that.
Thank you.
I mean, we have people playing it all the time.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's like really, it's obvious you don't want to mix alcohol with motion sickness.
Not really in a great combo. Probably wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah. So we're right at the opposite end. Like, we definitely 100% don't want.
Although, maybe in some weird setting, if you have enough alcohol and you're in VR that makes you motion sick, maybe it'd like balance itself out.
It makes you drunk.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah. You forget about the motion sickness. You're worried about being drunk.
I've stumbled into a couple of games of Skyfront where I've played against people who are drunk. I don't know if they've been specifically from like your arcades or some other locations, and then you kind of like hear them rambling on. We're like, whoa, where's the ground?
It's definitely us.
All the drunk players are coming from IPG.
Yeah, absolutely. How are we doing?
You guys are doing all right. Like, we have. Oh, I think. Wait. Andre dropped for a second. Oh, but again, player one on your side is second, but is very little behind FrostFX. So I think if he kind of ups his game a little bit, he might even be able to beat FrostFX. Although I always feel it's a bit unfair when we have Heikki play. Heikki's under FrostFX because he is definitely by far our strongest player.
So we're doing pretty well then.
You're doing really well. No, seriously, you are.
Oh God, guys, why don't we have this team together? Good grappling action there. Double grappler.
Double grapple.
So, when you guys are playing though, which arena do you usually prefer to? Because at the moment we just started with the Greece-inspired one, because I don't know, it's the oldest, it's everybody's favorite, but is it your favorite?
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
I would say it's a favorite. Yeah,
A lot of people, when they have a choice,
or the castle.
The castle's my personal favorite. I think like aesthetically it's the coolest, and I really like the fact that you can hide and like kind of snipe at your opponents. Okay, so I'm gonna exit this game for a sec. At the tournament manager that you're using to run the stream right now, it doesn't have the domination mode in it at the moment. I was really hoping we'd be able to do domination as well, but we'll just have to do domination at another time in the future. I've got one person online. Where's everybody else?
The one man.
Okay.
Oh, that's you. It's from you guys.
Switch team? Oh, no, switch back. So are you gonna go team blue? If you can. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
I only have player 3 on your side at the moment.
That'd be Gabor.
Oh, Gabor went in.
Gabor is like doing something.
Doing something. That's
Yeah.
that's always a good thing.
I'd say he's gazing off into the distance.
Oh, whimsical. Okay, so this was gonna switch. Okay, so I just need player 2 from your side.
Oh,
Try to.
Almost there.
I did turn it up to 100.
Do you guys normally use the tournament manager when you're running our game or no?
Before.
You have? I hear Gabor in like the faint distance somewhere.
Yeah, Gab was saying something.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah. So we've used it a couple of times. It's something that we want to exploit a lot more in the future, just in terms of like being able to like run the games and shit.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think it's just a case of having enough time to really take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because like this is my first time actually like using it in a real setting other than just testing the studio. So it's cool for like a learning experience for me as well. It's really nice. So how's player 2 doing? Player 2 hasn't still joined.
Player 2?
He's just joining now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it's definitely great to add players in and move them into the.
You're kind of yeah, I can't hear you all the time at the moment, Anthony.
Yeah, you guys are just broadcasting just online, just for fun.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like you kind of kept going in and out, so I couldn't hear exactly what you said just a second ago.
Oh, I was just saying, just in terms of the tournament manager, it's great to have that on hand, just to basically put people in and out of the correct teams.
Oh yeah. Do you guys really do team deathmatch a lot?
We've done a few. I mean, I think the thing is, up until recently, just because of the way the arcades work, it's just a lot of people can come in as like single players or just double players, so not necessarily like all as a team. And so a lot of the time we are just like it's just single player deathmatch.
Yeah, I mean that is like probably the most accessible anyway.
Yeah. And it creates quite a competitive element as well between
it definitely does, yeah.
You know, people and their friends.
Yeah, plus like a lot of people really love playing against their friends, and I mean, I guess that's the whole essence of multiplayer, really.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that wonderful distant future when we're gonna have like hundreds of players online in VR all the time, and you can kind of bring the same numbers over from 2D games, and you'll never have a trouble finding another player online. Yay, we get to start the match. Wonderful. So I'm not even sure who I'm rooting for right now, because like I mean, obviously I don't want you to win us at our own game, but at the same time I like you guys. Okay, so yeah, the convent is like, it's such a gorgeous map. The fourth one that we're gonna, well, I don't know if everybody knows, but so we're gonna be finally coming out of early access in exactly 2 weeks from now, right? Because we're coming out of early access on the 20th this month.
Very exciting.
It is so exciting for us as well. And like
just in time for Christmas.
Yes, just in time for Christmas. And like we've been looking forward to getting the game out for so long. But like, with everything. So there's always like this artistic side of you, which is like, no, this isn't good enough, and that isn't good enough, and so you just keep like trying to make it perfect. But at some point, you just have to like.
Not the only one there.
Yeah, you just kind of have to understand that it's almost impossible to think your own product is perfect. So. Yeah, you just have to.
But it's ready. It's time.
I think it is time. Yeah, and the fourth arena that we're gonna add with the release, it's no, we're getting a bit of lag, but I know the convent map does have, it's a bit more demanding on the computer, so it can have a bit more lag. But we're fixing that, so that's gonna be fixed in the full release build as well, and no more lag on the convent map.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. But like, yeah, sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. The fourth arena is gonna be a space-themed one, and we've had a couple of like gifs out and some pics and teasers. Have you seen any of those?
No, not yet.
Huh?
We're excited.
Oh, you're excited. Good.
We're gonna have a look now.
Yeah, we have some up on our Twitter and our Facebook. But the space one is like it's a totally different approach, because these three ones that we have in the current build, they're all like inspired by grand architecture. But this fourth one now, it's going to be kind of futuristic for us, but since the Skyfront world is like a post-apocalyptic world, then for the Skyfront world it's also in the past, so it's going to be like a really cool different approach.
Excellent.
You
I'm seeing the quirky turkey.
Oh yeah, the quirky turkey.
From Thanksgiving.
See, someone gave me permission to decide on the skirmish names, and I'm working really hard to make them regret that decision by naming stuff Quirky Turkey. I'll see where the there is a really short clip of the space map also in our release trailer as well, though. Oh yeah, it's very short, because when we were recording material for the trailer, the fourth arena was still like in its early stages of development, so we kind of had to select very specific camera angles where we could film, because those parts of the arena were ready while others still weren't.
I can see the thruster. That's the only one I've got. But
so when you two guys play, like Anthony Gabor, do you have some favorite loadouts in Skyfront, or like what's your kind of go-to strategy when you're playing?
My strategy is just to get the pineapple
out and just keep using that.
You'll be maybe then sad to hear that we are aware that the pineapple is a bit OP, so we're gonna be nerfing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, there goes my kills.
Yeah. I have to say, like, my favorite is the blessing.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Absolutely, like 2 blessings, but that's only because one of our staff to be called Blessing.
Oh. I usually just go nuts with the locust, but I like with the locust as well. Like, I know a lot of people who kind of get into the game for the first time, they don't realize that it's a 2-handed weapon, so they think it has just like mad recoil.
Yeah. It's really difficult. But it's great from a distance. Like,
it is great.
It's incredibly accurate, and like obviously it's almost like you've got like these little tracer bullets that are just completely following you everywhere.
Exactly.
Like you can't get away from it. So, yeah, really good. But and the revolver's pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, the revolver is like good, because I kind of do like having the revolver and the locust, because then the revolver is better at close range combat, and the locust is better at a distance. But like, my favorite thing is using the shockwave, and I know a lot of people don't like the shockwave, but because I have really bad aim, so I usually I never manage to kill people with the weapons, so I just kind of like crazily flail with my weapon and then finish them off with the shockwave.
And then use the shockwave.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy.
Shockwave is a good strategy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Oh, how are they doing?
Team Blue 1. Very good.
Oh, I wanted to
I
ask
am
about
looking
you.
for
You
this.
guys, like, you had this cool deal with Ubisoft, right? That you brought yeah. Can you tell me a bit about that? Because like I was browsing your site and it got me really curious.
Sure. So Ubisoft, who are basically mainstream developers,
Yeah.
traditionally known for things like Assassin's Creed, the whole franchise for that, they decided to release a VR-specific escape game,
Mm-hmm.
which is either two or four people, and it's based set in the world of Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's absolutely incredible. I mean, it's just such compelling content, and the way that they put it together, it's got great mechanics. It's only really uses like the trigger, and that's about it.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, but it is an escape room,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to work together to do it. And we're lucky enough to have the exclusive for the UK, so we've basically got 3 sites running it.
Yeah.
London, 2 sites in London, Brighton, which is like really good.
Wow, yeah.
And it's great fun.
I should come and try it out the next time I'm there. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Do all of you guys like? Have you already? Like, is it like something you can do multiple times, or once you've escaped it once, it's kind of you're done with it?
Well,
once you've escaped it, you know what to do, but
Okay.
it definitely is just as much fun the second time.
Okay, cool. Because like I've come to a couple of like real life escape rooms more than once, and they're still like it's kind of fun to watch how your friends are struggling, and then you're just like,
Exactly.
it's over there.
Same idea.
I mean, it's pretty funny.
So have you guys, both of you already escaped it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
So I need
That's
to
good.
find
That's
someone
really
else to
fun.
play with.
I mean, yeah, it's almost like as well if you play as 2 players. And then the difference between playing 2 and 4 is actually also a good reason for going back and trying it, because working as a 2-player team, but then you're having to try and play as like a 4-player kind of pod is a lot different.
Yeah, but there are like tasks you need to work at all at the same time or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to give too
Yeah,
much away, but it really is a case of like having to work together. And then once people get it, I mean, because it is in the world of Origins, so
yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Getting my interest peaked.
Yeah, we get a lot of people like being pulled in, like really interested, because in this particular aspect, like we can't say that generally escape rooms you're not supposed to see what's happening, because then you figure it out. So we had to turn off all the screens.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For this.
Yeah.
So you've just got people yelling across the entire club. Give me that. Shoot. Give me that. So it's great.
Wait,
How was that the next match?
That was
Nice.
How was that? Wow.
Oh, Manu won.
Jesus.
Manu.
Yeah, he killed it. Jesus, that's crazy.
What a beast.
Do you want to do another one here, or do you want to do a single death? Let's maybe do a single death match on the same arena, or what you think?
A single death match.
Same arena though.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll exit for a sec, and then everything's the same.
Tell them they'll go back in again.
Are they coming out?
They keep coming out.
One more, I think.
Oh yeah, let them join again. No, I'm sorry.
Get back in there.
Good job, Manu.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Clap for Manu. He did an excellent job. He like murdered everybody. Oh no, I started. I'm so sorry. I accidentally had the team one.
Okay, bro. You back in?
Manu the pie again? No,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do one more, guys.
Yeah, I think this one we can have this one as the last one. So I'm creating a new one with single deathmatch, the same arena. But since it's it's been over 40 minutes since we started, and we were saying we're gonna stream about an hour, so I think this can be the last game if you guys join.
Okay. Yeah. They want to do one last one as a death match.
Yeah, I
All
created it single deathmatch. That's all right.
Awesome.
Yay!
So I think
Yeah.
you posed a question before as well about how you think LBE.
Oh yeah. Like the role of LBE on the whole VR market actually, because like I mean a lot of guys, everybody on the VR market is. I mean it's not a secret that end user adoption isn't what a lot of people expected, or were hoping for at least. So LBE's location based entertainment have a huge role to play. So what do you think like where they are now? Where LBE is going to take the market?
I think it's a real interesting question. We just had a concert. We went and saw HTC recently, who are obviously like one of the mainstream manufacturers of location-based VR headsets.
Yeah.
And kind of a lot of the time about how many headsets can you get out into the wild?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what are the sort of sales figures? And everyone's always looking at, the consumer side of things, how many headsets consumers will have out in the wild. But I think the important factor about it is that location-based is also like aptly set up as well, because people can't necessarily afford the entry level because it's so high.
Yeah, and especially like since you kind of need a pretty good PC as well. I mean, if you have PlayStation is a little bit more accessible, but still, yeah. Are the people on your side joining? Because I don't see anyone yet.
So, yeah, that's
Okay, cool, yeah. Okay, continue.
yeah. So just I think just in relation to even if the headsets themselves like it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking in terms of a really decent like $2,000 to have this, then getting waves.
Waves are, I guess, a good sign.
Right. So just I think that's where LBE still comes into it, because if the headset manufacturers for consumers to buy, if the headset manufacturers are looking for, I think there's also the importance of LBE, because there's a lot of headsets to be sold to LBE as well.
Yeah.
So by maximizing the density of like headsets per location, that's still making those kind of sales, and then people are coming in and they're more likely to try the VR, and then if they try it and they really like it, then they're more likely to buy it, to adopt it.
Yeah, and I've heard like a couple of stories like this already, that people who started off going to arcades, they just kept going, and then they realized, they really love VR, and they got a headset for themselves as well.
Yeah, there has to be a critical mass, which is around says, right, I'm here all the time and I'm always paying this guy.
Yeah. So you might as well get it.
Yeah. But I think it's also like largely a space. I mean, people don't have the space at home.
Yeah, see. Yeah, for me as well. Like I do have a Vive at home, but I mean, I have like a standard average size apartment, so not like super tiny, but definitely not a big apartment. And it was a struggle setting up the Vive technically, because like when you're trying to get the room scale, like draw the border around your play area, I'd had to like stretch to the very edges of the walls, and then I kept getting like one corner missing, and I did the setup like I don't know 10 times before I finally got the full room scale, and now I have to jump over my cat every time I'm playing.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing with like maybe the Oculus because you know it's the way that you can map the room out. It's almost like in Photoshop where you've got like the magic tool, magic
yeah,
points.
exactly.
Like you can like draw wherever you want to go, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's really
make
good.
Make a little place to put your cup holder.
Don't hit that.
Yeah, don't hit that.
Yeah.
That's out of the way. But yeah, I think it's really important as well for people to be able to see VR, to actually see people out while trying it.
Yeah.
It needs to, capture people's imagination.
Yeah, definitely. Like one of the things that, talking to other devs as well in VR, that like a lot of people struggle with in VR is kind of portraying the 3D experience, the real life sort of experience on a 2D screen. And it was so crazy, for instance, when we were recording for our trailer now, you have to take so many things into account just to try and like give as much of the VR experience through the trailer, because it's just impossible. And in that sense, location based is an amazing kind of helper tool for a dev, because people can go there, they can try it out. It's way more than just a flat screen where you just look at it.
Yeah.
And like for us as well, from the developer side, I think a lot of devs who get into VR, when they're kind of starting off, you think of it as game dev. It's game dev. You're gonna be selling to home users. Home users are the people whose opinion you need to take into account the most. And while that's totally true, it's also in VR you really need location based, because, like you say, not a lot of people can afford it at the moment. So
that's right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And like honestly, from our side, I always like to say that like arcades, VR arcades are a VR dev's best friends, because for us, like the feedback we've got from arcades, the players we've got from arcades, the support, it's been so invaluable.
I think going back to that as well, that obviously when you're at home, you've probably only got enough room to play to play just in there by yourself.
Yep. Yeah.
And so for us, like Skyfront is a very social experience. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's way more fun if you've got four people that are in their booths, but they're all side by side, and then they all come out afterwards.
Yeah, and the experience and
standing,
everything.
And they're standing in front of each other, and they can discuss their tactics, and and so you don't have that kind of space freely available at home. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, come on, it's even hard sometimes to fit 4 just friends without the VR into your home.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, once you're looking at like 12 by 3 meters, in terms of like just the play space alone, and then you're talking maybe another 12 by 3 in terms of like the spectator area in front. That's a lot of space.
Yeah, definitely. And like
so
again,
I think LB.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So I think LB will be a very, very long time.
Yeah, definitely. Like I was just thinking about your setting. Like it kind of adds more to the social value, because then you finish your game, your experience, you're all pumped up, you want to share with friends, and then you go have a beer after, and it's just that much more chill and awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cool. Like, so people will just go, "Oh, wow, this is really cool."
Yeah.
I'll sit and I'll have a drink and everything.
And like honestly, like with any video game, a lot of the time, like for a really long time, I was absolutely obsessed with Zelda Breath of the Wild on Switch, and yes, it's so good. And and then every time I'd like do something really cool, like explore a really cool region, I'd really want to like tell someone and kind of share it, and you're just on your Switch at home and there's no one to share with.
You need like a GoPro to be able to take into it with you and like film yourself, go along.
Oh my gosh, I was talking about that.
Come with me.
Yes, a while ago. Like, imagine Breath of the Wild in VR. That
Oh my god.
I know.
So good.
I'm just going into the wilderness. Come with me, like Ray Mears kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even need to do anything. I would just like explore the
Just
universe.
explore, yeah. I was just saying, what could you do that in Skyfront? Just to have a little map to explore.
Oh yeah. So maybe in the future, but we are gonna get hopefully a lot of like player created content though. I don't know if you've heard, like we're gonna have Steam Workshop as well once we release. So
Yeah, cool.
that is something I am so looking forward to. Again, like in Zelda, when you get the ability to swim up waterfalls, I was imagining
Yes.
a Skyfront arena, which is like filled with waterfalls, and you can like hide behind them and swoop through water. That would be
That'd be so
amazing.
good.
Yes, and one of our regular players was chatting with me on Discord the other day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I would definitely make that once we get workshop."
Oh, we could have a beer shield.
Oh yes.
You can see it slowly filling up.
Oh my god, everybody's playing really equally well this turnaround. I think they've kind of got used to playing now. Oh, it's always such a shame, once you start getting really into it, it's like, oh, it's the end of the stream already.
Yeah. They're all doing really great.
They
by
are,
this point.
yeah, really well.
And there's our team for the next league.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I really hope that Valve's gonna continue those arcade tournaments next season as well. I feel that they had like a questionnaire that you could fill out just a couple of weeks ago, and I know they're planning on at least trying to expand to the home user market as well. So I'm really looking forward to what they're gonna be doing as well. Like we might be seeing very cool VR tournaments.
Oh, like from home as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're planning on doing it right now, but in the questionnaire that they had, they were asking like if you want to see home user tournaments as well. And I mean, if they're asking about it, hopefully they're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. Probably in the plans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. IPG. Come on, boys.
I should beat Skyfront Devs.
Little friendly
Who's
competition.
Hey, but
Oh my god.
what
Bodies
I think
just flying everywhere.
no, but I think Manu, was it? Manu is winning.
Yes.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
you got like a double hit.
Oh, amazing!
God. Insane.
He's got one more minute. He has to maintain his leader role
See.
for one more minute.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
badass. That is badass.
Last minute, guys.
Oh, you're just opening up for the evening, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So people are
People
coming
are
in.
starting to trickle in.
Oh, nice.
We've got a big Christmas party here today as well.
Oh wow, yeah, the Christmas season. Oh, plus like it's Thursday, so it's like almost the weekend already anyway.
Yeah.
It's basically the weekend.
It's basically the weekend.
That's cool.
It's the weekend for us.
It's like with every year, the weekend jumps a day forward. I heard some people saying that, hey, it's Wednesday, it's almost the weekend already. I'm like, what? In which universe? Okay,
Yeah.
4 seconds. 3.
Well, this match is almost over.
It's almost
Oh.
over. Did Manu win?
Oh.
No, he lost last second. No.
Second.
No, but I
Second
mean,
place.
it's really good. Okay, guys, but like, yeah, I think
Good job, guys.
we'll stop here for this week. Thanks, Anthony, Gabor, and everybody
thank
from
you so
your
much,
side.
Sandra.
Thank you so much. This has been
That was super
amazing.
fun.
Me
Okay,
too.
thanks, Andrea.
All right, see you soon, guys. Bye
See you
bye.
later. Bye.
Bye. And bye, everybody who's been watching us as well. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time. Bye.